Hey everybody, I'm gonna call this one a mini update on the mini truck. So I've been trying to track down um, this leak on the transmission, and so what I did was, let me show you what I have here. So I have this service manual, an actual factory service manual for this truck. They're actually pretty easy to find. Flipping through here, I was looking for a section on the transmission pan, and sure enough, they have a section on leaks. And so what they suggest in the manual is to clean the underside of the transmission really, really well. So I used brake clean and some brushes and a rag. And then they said powder it with talcum powder. I think they call it foot powder inside the manual here. So that's what I did. And so let me take you to the truck and show you what I found. So I'm in the process of fixing the leak at the moment, and I got a light here. I don't know if this will help. Hopefully it will. So basically, after I dusted everything down, I saw an incredible amount of wetness around the transmission mount. That is the rubber mount, and along this edge here of the pan. And so what I saw were this bolt right here, and then there's a bolt tucked up back underneath here. They were both very, very wet, and they were actually dripping transmission fluid. So I looked up the torque spec on the transmission pan, and it was 120 inch-pounds. And so I grabbed my little torque wrench and I went around the whole pan, and everything was loose. But these two were the most loose. I could actually move this one with my fingers. Now the big problem, every single bolt in this transmission pan is accessible except for that extra loose bolt. You have to actually move the transmission cross member in order to get to that bolt, because it's got this odd little lip that just covers the bolt enough you can't get anything in there. I don't think that lip's necessary, and if I were more ambitious than I am today, I would take this whole mount out and I would just chop out that section of the mount that covers that bolt so I could get to it easier. But I'm not going to do that. What I did do is I lifted up the transmission with a jack, and I loosened the transmission cross member so I could get to that bolt, and I've tightened everything down now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean it all up once again, and then I'll drive this truck around for a little bit and see if that leak continues. I am a little bit concerned about the transmission fluid ruining this rubber mount right here, because it is just falling apart. So I'm gonna have to order a new one of these transmission mounts. They're not anything special, and as you can see, I can pretty easily get to it. Removing the cross member is just 4 bolts, 2 on each frame rail, and then the 1 bolt underneath, support the transmission. You can drop this thing right out. So now I just have to clean everything up, reverse the process, and then I'll be able to check to see if this transmission continues to leak. All right, there it is, about as cleaned up as I'm gonna get it. That that transmission mount is definitely shot. So I'll have to order another one. And depending on how well the seal actually seals around the transmission pan, I may end up replacing that. I already have a replacement seal, but I'm going to wait until I get in a transmission mount before I replace that seal. It'll give me time to see if tightening those bolts actually did anything. I don't know if you can tell, but right here is where I cut off that bracket, the mounting bracket for the catalytic converter. So it's all integrated, like I was talking about before. It's all just integrated into the whole transmission mount system. So anyway, old truck problems. I take working on one of these before I go back to my 2015 F-150. These older trucks are way easier to work on than the newer vehicles. Everything is easily accessible, and Pretty simple, you know. It's a little aggravating that that transmission cross member only interferes with the one bolt. Probably the reason why that bolt was the loosest out of all of them, because nobody's been able to get to it to actually tighten it. I don't know. We're gonna see. I mean, this is no guarantee that this is gonna fix this leak. I have a whole new seal kit for the entire transmission, and I have every seal necessary in order to stop any leak that comes out of this thing. So that'll probably be a future video. This is just intended to be a really small update. So thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you next time.